Good morning, boys and girls. Today we are doing another lesson using area or perimeter to solve some different types of problems. The main idea or learning target for the lesson is that you can apply the various strategies taught this year to solve multi-digit multiplication and division. And that's been a big theme throughout the last couple lessons, dealing with using strategies to solve different types of multiplication and division problems, specifically focusing on the area. So let's jump right into our first problem. It says Josie is putting a fence around her backyard, around her rectangular yard. One dimension measures 24 feet and the other dimension is twice as long. What is the perimeter of Josie's yard? So first thing, what is the problem asking us to solve? Well, it's asking us what is the perimeter of Josie's yard. So let's take what we already know. It's a rectangular yard. So I'm going to start again by drawing my rectangle. What else do we know? One dimension measures 24 feet. Okay, so I'm going to draw in 24 feet. The other dimension is twice as long. So we need to double 24. Well, if you're not sure, you could figure it out. 24 plus 24, or 24 times 2 doubled, which is 48. 24 doubled is 48. 20 plus 20 is 40. 4 plus 4 is 8. 40 plus 8 is 48. So then it says, now that we know our dimensions are length and width, what is the perimeter? So how do we solve for perimeter? Well, perimeter, it always measures the outside of an object. You just add up your sides. If this is 48, I know by a rectangle, my background knowledge of rectangles, this has to be 48. And if that's 24, that has to be 24 as well. Now you could just add up all the sides, 48 plus 24 plus 48 plus 24, or you could realize, hey, 24 plus 24 makes 48, and I have 1, 2, that would be 3 groups of 48. So I could just solve using the equation, what's 48 times 3? Or again, you could add them up. But since we're talking about multiplication and division, I'm going to use the area method to set this up. 40 plus 8. And then since it's a double digit by a one digit, I only need one row times 3. So 3 times 4 is 12 with a 0. So times 10, that would be 120. 3 times 8, again, basic facts, is 24. 24. So 120 plus 24 makes 144. So what is the perimeter of Josie's yard? It's 144 feet. We could also, knowing another strategy, the doubling and halving. Now I can't half 3 because that's an odd number, but I could half 48, which is 24, and then double 3, which would get us 24 times 6, still an even number. Then I could do 12 times 12. That's one that our multiplication chart would have if we have 12s, which is 12 times 12 is 144. So maybe we did that and we got to a friendlier number, and then we know that and we could just stop. So that's one way. You could also use the doubling and halving strategy that we talked about in a previous lesson. All right, let's look at one more problem, kind of dealing with the same thing. If Josie puts grass in her yard, how many square feet of grass would she need to buy? So a couple clues. One, it says square feet. And whenever I'm dealing with square feet, I know that I'm dealing with area. And we know the formula for area is length times width. So we're going to have to go back to what we did in a previous problem. So what was 24 was one dimension and 48 was the other dimension. So then I'm going to draw my rectangle again. Okay. Ooh. Okay, not the prettiest rectangle, but if one's 24 and this one's 48, now it's length times width, because Perimeter is going around, like putting a fence. It's going around the outside of the yard. Grass, you're seeing how much grass it's going to take to fill in this whole thing. So that's area. So now I guess there's a couple strategies I could do. I could use a ratio table and set it up. One group of 24 and take it to 48 groups, or one group of 48 and take it to 24 groups. I could use the area model and just do 40 plus 8 times 20 plus 4 and fill it in that way. Or I could use the doubling and halving strategy. But I think I'm going to start. Let's do one using the area model. So let's do 40 plus 8. Now this time we're doing a 2-digit by a 2-digit number. So I need to make it a 2 by 2 array here. So 40 plus 8 and 20 plus 4. So now 2 plus 4 is 8, and you have 0, so that would be 800. That's 800. 2 plus 8 is 16 with a 0, so that'd be 160. 4 times 4 is 16 with a 0, so that'd be 160 again. And 4 times 8 is 32. No 0, so 32. All right, so if I add all of these up, let's see. This gets me 900, oh, that's a 9, 960. And then if I add 160 plus 32, and now I'm going to line up my place values right away so that way I can add them together right away. That gets me 160 plus 30, 192. And now I'm just going to add them together. 2 plus 0 is 2, 9 plus 6 is 15, and I carry the 1, and 9 plus 2 is 11. So that gets me 1,152 as my answer. Now, let's go back and just think. Let's see. If I use the doubling and halving strategy, well, if I double in half, if I double 24 and half 48, I'm going to end up right back at 24 and 48. So I'm going to half 24. So let's just see. 24 times 48. So what I'm saying is if I double 24, this is just going to switch to 48. And basically, I'm just kind of flipping them around, and I'm back to where I am. So if I half this, that ends up with 12 times, and then I would have to double this. 48 doubled would be 96. Then I could half this again, which would be 6 times, let's see, 96 doubled. 6 doubled would be 12. 9 doubled would be 18. That'd be, and then plus that'd be 192. And maybe that's a little 192. Or we could take the 6 and still half one more time to get 3 times. Let's see, 192 doubled would be 2 and 2 is 4, 8 and 8, or 9 and 9 would be 18, and then 2, 3, so 384. And then you could go about solving it that way, which if I did that, I'm going to 3 times 384. Let me just 3 times 384. And then you would just set it up and do 300 in expanded form. 300 plus 80 plus 4. And then I'm only doing a single digit number now using the doubling and halving. Maybe it got you to a little easier number. Maybe not, but we're just going to try it and see. 3 times 3 is 9, so that'd be 9. 3 times 300 would be 900. 3 times 8 is 24, so that'd be 240. And then 3 times 4 is 12. So now let's see, that'd be 900. Now I just have to add them together. 900 plus 200. I'm just going to add these together right away. So that'd be 252, which then if I add them together, I get 2, 5 plus 0 is 5, 9 plus 2 is 11. I ended up with the same answer of 1,152. So just a couple problems, just whichever strategy works best for you. that helps you come to the right answer and be the most efficient mathematician that you can, that's what we're looking for. Hope this video helps. Make it a great day.